Welcome in to Fantasy Now Plus, your Tuesday edition, June 24th, 2025. We usually go live Mondays, but I gave Justin the day off. It was a tough weekend for our boy Justin over there. So today we'll be breaking down the NFC and AFC North divisions. I already see comments in the chats. What? AFC East? Yes, we'll get to them down the road, but today we'll be ranking quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and tight ends for your NFC North and AFC North division. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get it started, Justin.
Oh no, where'd I go? I'm right here. What happened?
I don't know. I was expecting to.
Oh, you were expecting. Oh my, I'm the worst producer of all time. I'm just gonna say that.
You know,
Here you go.
it happens.
You're watching the Fantasy Recap, only on FantasyNow Plus.
One day we will get that right, and that day is not today. It's all gay. It's all good, my friends. Like I said in the front, in the cold open, as we call it in the biz, we will be breaking down every position from the North, whether it be the AFC or NFC, and lump them all together. So get ready, guys. You thought the Aaron Rodgers talk was over? Not so fast, my friend. We'll talk about him here in a little bit. But before we do, we have some business to get, I guess, out of the way. Super League is coming to an end, as in registrations. We are getting the final push today. We have 7 full leagues pushing for 8. Justin's in charge of that situation. If you have not been DM'd by Justin today and you're watching, then what's going on? Because he has DM'd every single person in the United States to join this league. So go ahead and do it. Chat. That's our Discord. Hold on. Super League. You can find it on Fantasy Now Plus, the Super League tag. Hit your registration button. We're getting this thing filled and organized today. Pick your division if you've registered, by the way. We're waiting on you to pick your division and your spot. To be thankful.
Yeah,
we're very thankful.
I don't want to cause any stress or worry, but there are 2 spots available for our 7th division. It might not be the final division, but there are 2 spots available today, and there are 8 people that have registered. So get in now to get a guaranteed spot if you've registered already. And if you don't get in there within the next 2 picks, you might have to wait to see if we get another 8th division. I would love to get an 8th division. I would love to get 10 divisions. But right now, we're guaranteed 20 more spots. Yeah.
I'd love to get 50 divisions. But here we are. We're just beginning our journey. So let's get it started. First off, some small talk, Justin, before we get into these ranks. I know you had your Scott Fish Bowl live draft this weekend. So how was it? How was the vibe? Were you shaking hands, signing autographs? How was it, Justin?
Not signing autographs, shook a lot of hands. Everybody that went to a draft, and if you are going to a live draft, you will get one of these nice little bad boy stickers here. Josh, you haven't gotten yours yet. I swore I told Sean I will send him his this week. Sean, if you're watching, I'll send you yours this week. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I was at Cincinnati, obviously. We got through 10 rounds. They are very adamant this year about only drafting 10 rounds. There will be no 11:01 pick live at the draft. So just be aware of that. And I had a strategy going to the draft, and I've kind of followed it for the most point. So
there you go. I just want to say, in the Orlando region, we've always been locked down to 10, and it's been a rule. So thank you, Zach, for keeping order in the Orlando draft, at least. It's good to know that at least one city follows the rules and have never broken it, ever. We have this one guy who comes every year. He's known, by the way, and I don't know his name, so apologize to whoever you are. But I've been to every Orlando draft. As soon as he makes his last pick in the 10th round, he slams his computer down, puts it in his backpack, and walks out. And I'm like, all right, his draft is done. And I think he does that. So he's like, so we can't debate it. Because we've had years, I think the first and second year, debate it. Oh, we can maybe go into the 11th round. And then we look around. Oh, half the teams have left already. So,
yeah.
But you know what?
The last 2 drafts that I went to, it was kind of like, are you guys good for 11, or you just want to keep going until like we got to leave or whatever? And we've all kind of been like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it wasn't as serious. But they're really trying to make them an event this year. So it's not just the draft; it's the draft and like we went to a bowling place, so we got football bowling. We had food catered into us. Thanks to everybody that made food for the weekend. That was pretty cool. And then I mean it's a brewery also with the place. So it was an actual event, not just a draft, which was really cool to see.
I can't find any foaling near me at all. Never heard of this thing until you told me you're going foaling. So I hope we get to do foaling in Orlando. I doubt we will. We're just gonna
Probably
be
won't.
drafting it, but it's gonna be a fun time. I cannot wait to get there on July 12th.
Yeah, you're in July. You're like another month away. It seems like. Yeah. Pudge here said all the tight ends. Yes, that was my strategy. I am 15 rounds in and I have 7 tight ends. But
I'm
it's additional as players.
way.
It's all flex and 2 super flex. I have 2 quarterbacks. That's fine. I have 2 running backs and like 3 wide receivers, and the rest are all tight ends. We did have teams that they went 6 wide receivers in a row before they drafted a tight end. We've had teams that have pretty much went all running backs to start, and then they've kind of mixed it up now. So it's definitely, it seems that people have had their strategy of just going one position down the board that they think is the highest valued, and we'll see how that turns out.
We'll see how it turns out. Again, I won't be drafting until July, which is good for me. I prefer later drafts. If it was up to me, I know this is not possible. Obviously, we'd be drafting in August, I understand why we do it so early, and I totally get it. So yeah, so there it is. We had a show on Friday, Studs and Suds with Pudge and Jeff. So go check that out if you've missed it on our channel. It was a great show. I want to thank those guys. They're putting in great work. They're getting a ton of views, and make sure you look at their stuff because they know what they're talking about. So go ahead and check that out. It was Friday if you missed it, and they'll be live again this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern here on Finstock Sports Network and Fantasy Now Plus. Check it out. What's going on, Josh, in the chat? Thanks to everyone watching right now. We'll get into our rankings. So, Justin, how do we want to break this down? I have my rankings. It's published on FantasyNowPlus.com if you want to follow along. I have finished all of my redraft rankings here in June, and I'm curious to get into it with you. So, how are we going to do this, Justin, boss man?
Well, so the thought here is I have this little sheet here that I'm going to share, and then we are going to start from 10 and just work our way up to the best in the 2 divisions. And kind of discuss how do we actually, we might agree on some of these, we might have to argue a little bit on some of these, but we'll get them. I mean, we got 40 players to rank in 40 minutes, so should work, right?
Should work.
should work. So yeah, here we go. I got this sheet for the AFC and NFC North divisions with all the teams that we are going to look at here. So pick a position. What do you want to talk about?
Start with the most coveted position in the entire league, the quarterback position.
All right, tight end.
Tight end. This isn't a
quarterback.
It's not on tight ends. So quarterback position. I feel like this is a very strong 2 divisions for quarterbacks. It was very difficult for me to, once you get past the 1 and 2, which are pretty obvious who they are. To me, they're all jumbled up. So I really believe, and there's a clear bottom 2, I believe. So the middle 3 through 6 were very difficult for me to rank. How say you on this subject?
I would agree. And not even looking too much into all of the quarterbacks, I would definitely agree that the top 3 are definitely, I feel like, the top 3. But after that, it does get hard. Do we want to, I mean, get the top and bottoms out of the way and then work our way into the middle? Do we?
We could definitely do that. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to talk about the top 3 guys?
Well, who do you have top 3? Because I have Lamar 1 and Joe Burrow 2.
I would agree on both of those.
Okay. Now 3, this is tricky. Like, it could be Caleb Williams or it could be Jared Goff, however you feel. I have currently Jared Goff as my number 3. because of familiarity, how good he's been in the past 2 to 3 years. He's very comfortable with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. He's got a good coaching staff, but he lost his offensive coordinator. I'm not sure how that's going to affect him. And Caleb has gained.
Coordinator is now his.
Yeah. And Caleb has gained that offensive coordinator, and they have gained weapons. They lost Keenan Allen, but is that really a loss? Odunes, whatever you want to call him, has 1 year of experience, and they added Luther Burden. And I think that Cole Kmet still has value, and they added a tight end. So to me, it is up in the air. If you're projecting forward, has Caleb taken, because he adds the rushing stats that Jared Goff does not have. So that's where I lie. Where do I have him compared to Jared Goff?
I mean, I'm looking at my own rankings. I was awful. I haven't updated my rankings in 19 days. It's fine. It's fine. I know you did yours yesterday and today and all the days leading up to today.
All week leading up to this day. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
If I'm really thinking about it without even looking at my rankings, I'm going Caleb Williams here just because of the amount of weapons he has. Whereas Jared Goff, yeah, he has his 2 running backs. He has Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta in the red zone, I guess. I mean, but I want to know how much of that offense was Jared Goff, how much of that offense was Ben Johnson. And if I'm starting the team today with these 2 quarterbacks, I'm choosing Caleb Williams over Jared Goff. What do you think?
I'm totally fine with that. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with everybody here watching, because my rankings are literally live. I have Jared Goff as my 3rd quarterback only because of safety. Because I want at the quarterback position, if I'm drafting where he's going, I want the safety net of like, well, he's not going to crap on me, and he's going to have the job the entire year, and he's not going to just go. He's going to be fine. But Caleb Williams definitely has that upside, man. He really does. 483 rushing yards last year. I could easily see that staying or going up. I don't see it going down. So that is a huge difference to me.
I agree. I would agree with that. Jared Goff is your safety. If you want a safe amount of points every week, great. If you maybe want to go for a very large upside but a pretty low floor, go Caleb Williams. But I would lean more towards his upside this year than his floor. But yeah, if you really want that safety pick, go Jared Goff. After Caleb Williams, I feel like we're down to. Well, I mean, yeah.
Are we going to jump to the bottom 2? That's what we're going to do. Make a sandwich. All right.
Let's go.
So I clearly have. And maybe we're different on this, who we have ranked, because we don't know who the Cleveland Browns starter is. We just don't know. So we could put Cleveland Browns starter and just be safe. But we ain't safe here. Listen, this is a show where we make bold takes and we stand by them. We're not taking the easy way out. I'm telling you right now, week 1 is going to be Shedeur Sanders. He's going to be the starting quarterback for this team. And I think he is the worst quarterback in this division. But it's only because of situation. I think Shedeur Sanders, and I know some people are going to disagree with this, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be average to above average in this league. I think he has the drive, the work ethic, the lineage, and I think him being passed over is going to create this giant chip on his shoulder that he needed, because he was an arrogant, cocky, confident, I guess you could put both those in the same sentence, athlete coming into the draft. And man, he had a huge, huge serving of humble pie. And I think that's only going to drive him to be greater than he is. Now, I know that's just speaking. There's no stats to back this up, but come on, man. This kid can play, and he got disrespected in this draft. I love Shedeur Sanders, but that being said, he's still the last quarterback on this list, because I don't know if he's going to start. I don't know.
So are you putting?
I still have him last, yeah, because I don't even know if he's a starter.
Okay. I'm fine with Shedeur Sanders being 10, because again, we don't know if he's going to be the starter, and until I
only ranked 8.
Oh, you put him at 8?
Yeah, I only ranked the 4 starting quarterbacks that I think are going to start.
Okay.
I'm not going to put Will Howard on this list. He's irrelevant. He's been irrelevant since the start.
Well, Mason Rudolph.
Again, irrelevance at its finest, right there.
Shedeur Sanders, I think, is at the bottom of the starting quarterbacks. And we'll say Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback. So, what about 2 speeding tickets in a month? 95 and a 60 and 101 and a 60.
That's kids. When I was younger, I will say this because my old co-host Dave Campbell would tell you, I was a huge person on this person's breaking the law. He's a dirtbag, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Now I just realize that I'm older. That's just what kids do. Whether you like him or not, I understand he's in this spotlight and he's an athlete and he needs to know that. He should know that.
Lots of
Look at his
money.
dad.
Yeah.
But he's a kid and he's gonna do stupid things. My kid's gonna do stupid things. My daughters are gonna do stupid things. My friends' kids have done stupid things. Kids do stupid things. It is the way it is to me.
So we are now looking at Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. And to finish, go ahead.
I was gonna move up to 5 because I think Jordan Love is 5. That's the safe pick here, in my opinion.
Jordan Love is a very safe pick there, and I didn't want to bring this up because it's in the chat. Jamie did say, remember, golf's home road splits are pretty bad. Last year wasn't that bad because he's in the dome a lot. Yes, I understand that. As my son just makes an appearance on the show. Did you see that? My son just walked in and walked away. Thank you, son. You know what he gave me? Chicken fries.
Nice.
So you're welcome.
I wish I had a dog that brought me chicken fries, but they're just sleeping. So
supposed to be a leader of men back. Yeah. Again, is he supposed to be a leader of men? Are the quarterbacks supposed to be always the leader in the locker room? Possibly, yes. Listen, he's a kid. And it's no excuse. I understand that. But
I mean, it's okay. So back to the topic here.
Right,
Jordan Love. I think 5 is between Jordan Love and JJ McCarthy. I think Jordan Love has proven it more. He, again, like Jared Goff, is the safer pick of the two. JJ McCarthy has Justin Jefferson, though. And we saw what Justin Jefferson was able to do with Sam Darnold last year. So was it Sam Darnold being good, or was it the product of the system where Sam Darnold was really good because of his wide receiver?
I think it was a system thing. Did you hear that news where the Raiders wanted Sam Darnold, but Tom Brady said, "Nah, we ain't touching this guy." Did you hear that the story? I heard it yesterday.
Christ.
So either way. Oh, how would you? Why would you do that?
He's got to go 7. I'm sorry, he has to go 7. He is not better than the other two. I'm sorry.
We don't know. I will say this. We have not seen JJ McCarthy play a game in the NFL, much less a full game in the NFL. We've seen him in preseason and he looked awesome. But Justin Fields looked awesome in preseason that one time, didn't he? And he said it was slow. This game is slow. Well, it wasn't that slow, buddy. You're still on your.
I'm not loading you move Aaron Rodgers higher than 7.
I'm not going to move Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to let you put him there. But I will say this. He's not as bad as you guys think. And I'm not going to go into it again because I've done this before. It's every single show. It's becoming a rerun. Guys, Rodgers will be fine this year. But in this context, I could definitely see where he doesn't have the upside of a JJ McCarthy. I can see that. And I can admit that. But I will say this. If the Vikings called Aaron and said, you can be our quarterback, Aaron would have been there and Aaron would have won more games more than JJ McCarthy. Promise you that. You want to move on to the running backs?
But they didn't want him, so
it's true. It's true. You know, I'm glad that you're such in a mood today. I was going to bring up the Pacers. I was going to tell you how I watched half the game and how.
Did you watch the good half?
Okay, here. You guys want to know my NBA Finals critiques? My reviews? I can give it to you. I started the game off strong. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to make it through my first ever NBA game from start to finish. I can't wait to talk to Justin about this. Midway through the first period, the game is so god darn boring. I fell asleep.
Well, yeah, I mean, the electric player in the game was out within 7 minutes of the game.
He was, yeah,
he will be gone for a
matter
year.
of fact, that's kind of like when I fell asleep after he got hurt. Yes.
Yeah.
So then I woke up with the TV still on, which I never sleep with the TV on. It was the fourth quarter. They were getting blown out by 20. I'm like, well, I might as well watch the celebration, you know, go Thunder, I guess. Like, I didn't care. I don't care about the NBA. And then I saw that the Pacers lost and I felt sad for you. And then I immediately went to sleep and didn't think about it again until just now. Running backs, Justin.
Yeah.
JJ has JJ Addison pending suspension. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Yeah, he does, Chris. Chris in the chat makes it great. Yes, he does. JJ has the full upside. But guess what? Zach Wilson had Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and sometimes quarterbacks just don't get it. Sometimes quarterbacks just can't figure it out. And I'm not saying JJ McCarthy hasn't figured it out. He's a rookie. In my eyes, he's a rookie. He's never played an NFL game. It's hard for me to rank him over veterans and Hall of Famers and people that I know are going to play 17 games and put up really good numbers like Aaron Rodgers did last year. Like he just did last year. Removed from a very good season. Aaron Rodgers was not just an average. He was very, very good. Above average last year. All right, move on to running backs.
Yeah, running backs. I don't think the running backs in these two divisions are as good as everybody thinks they are.
I think there's a fall off.
To me, I think you have 2, 3-ish, maybe 4 running backs, and then it's a big gap after that. And I would be curious, but do you want to start at the bottom and just work our way up to the best? Or do we want to start at the top so we don't...
Just let's put the best up there because we already know who the best is. Jahmyr Gibbs, no doubt about it. There's no question about it. He could easily be the number, maybe. He could easily be the number 1 running back this year. Like, not just in this division, this year. So, easily number 1. Any objections in the chat? I don't think so.
You're not getting that out of Chris. I know that for a fact. So, Jahmyr Gibbs is definitely the top running back in the two divisions. I think after that, if we're looking at strictly we're not talking about dynasty right now. We're talking about redraft here. I have to go Derrick Henry at this point. I don't know if you go Derrick Henry. I mean, he is still killing it at his prime age of 31 years old.
Last year when we were OUS and Dave was on this show and we couldn't understand your rankings of Derrick Henry because we had him both top 8 and you guys had him like 20th.
The 20th.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys have Derrick Henry in the 20s, bro. He's going to one of the best offenses and he's still a beast. So it's very, very, very difficult for me to put him anything lower than 2 here.
Well, last year was our first year of rankings, and I was like, what's dynasty, what's redraft, all the things.
I understand. So, yes, you're going to have no argument with me. I think Derrick Henry is still the number 2 running back in this division, but I think it's closer than you think with Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
I think Josh Jacobs is very close.
I agree there. Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to be a top 10 running back again this year, just like he was last year. And he's going high on boards this year as well. Because of that, I think that is the way that Packers offense moves this year too. So
Josh Jacobs had a more higher snap share last year. We forget that, Justice Hill and all those other guys when the Ravens were down, Henry didn't really see the field. The Ravens weren't down often, so it worked out in his favor. But there could be a situation where Josh Jacobs isn't going to be taken off the field. He's still going to be targeted heavily. He was targeted 43 times last year. So he's still going to stay on the field. I know 43 is not a big amount, but it's more than Derrick Henry's, I would suggest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Derrick Henry had half that.
Then I think there's a small gap here, but I don't think the gap is that big. And I think it's David Montgomery.
Where do I have Mr. Montgomery? I don't have him here only because what's going to be different in this offense? I'm kind of questioning it. I'm questioning whether they're going to still pound. Are they still going to have 2 top 10, 2 top 12 running backs in the same offense? People forget, man, when management changes in any company, my real job, your real job, things change. Things change quick. Montgomery could easily go, you know what? We're going to do this instead. We're not going to use you here like we did last year. I'm huge on David Montgomery. I want him everywhere still because I think he's a stud. But there could be something said for Chase Brown in that offense. And what did they do to address his situation? Zach Moss still there. They drafted some rookie. Like, in the end of the day, Chase Brown is still the alpha elite running back there, and there's no one that could touch him. And we're talking about Montgomery, who's secondary to Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Montgomery. Trust me on that. I've been saying he's the running back 1 there for years. This is the first year ever, actually, where I'm not putting him above Gibbs. So that could tell you something about Montgomery. I have Chase Brown at my number 4, but we can easily put Monty there. I'm not going to argue. Jones? You have Jones over? Jones over Chase Brown?
Yeah, I would put Chase Brown there. And then Yeah, David Montgomery here too. You raise good points. I'm not fighting you on any of these things.
I mean, you raise
You
good
want
points too, buddy.
do what?
Can we talk about Chase Brown though? Are you worried about Chase Brown at all?
No.
Not even in the slightest. Not even the fact that listen, last year he had 65% snap share, which
I
to
don't. I
me I
don't.
thought was
I don't
crazy.
care that they
That
brought
was
in Taj Brooks. I
okay.
think Zach Moss is not going to be the player that they wanted him to be.
No.
Chase Brown proved that he can run that offense literally as a top 10 running back in the league. I think they keep the ball in his hands, and they don't need to run the ball. That's the thing. They don't need 3 different backs to run the ball. They can run Chase Brown because of their wide receivers. They're not seeing stacked boxes because of their wide receivers.
And plus he's getting so many targets. 65 last year. He had 54 catches.
Yeah.
He didn't rush for over 1,000 yards, but that's totally fine. In this day and age, you don't need that to be a top 12 or top 14 running back in this day and age, as long as you get those receptions. So I do believe that Chase Brown should be above David Montgomery, and I have no problem with that. After Montgomery, though, this is where we can start talking Aaron Jones. This is where we can start talking Judkins, Swift. I mean, Swift. Just kidding, Swift. We're not bringing you up right now. Where would you go? Would you go Judkins? Would you go Aaron Jones? Would you go Caleb Johnson? Would you go Jalen Warren? There's a lot of situations. There's a lot of places we can go right now.
There are, and I'm always going to lean more towards a veteran running back that's young. Oh.
A veteran running back that's young.
I'm sorry.
I really want veteran running backs that are young too. I don't know. Kyron Williams, he's a veteran running back that's young.
Yeah, but we're not talking about them right now. I don't know if I can trust Judkins and Caleb Johnson and all of these guys yet. Like, I don't know. This whole offseason, I've said multiple times, I don't think Judkins is going to be as good as everybody thinks he's going to be. I've said it all offseason. It hasn't changed.
I don't see how you can hate Judkins in that role where we expect him to step up and do not exactly what Nick Chubb did. No one could do what Nick Chubb did. Only a few running backs can do that, those running skills. But I expect him to get a full load. I don't see any kind of setback at all. I don't see anyone in his rage. Jerome Ford is still there, right? Like he can still get touches. Here's my prediction for week 1. I'm sitting here. I'm in Vegas. in my hotel room, about to catch my flight back to Florida because week 1 should be broadcasting from Vegas. And I'll be like, man, you guys expected Judkins to get this, but we saw Jerome Ford get 15 carries instead. I guarantee that's going to be my week 1 lead-in. Guarantee it. 1,000%. So I'm okay with not putting Judkins here yet. 1,000% okay with putting Aaron Jones here. And that's sick. I don't like Aaron Jones at all. I don't want to touch Aaron Jones. I don't want to roster Aaron Jones. But I do see that he does bring that veteran leadership and that veteran role to Minnesota, where he was good last year. And they didn't really do anything to add. Jordan Mason's now there. Jordan Mason's not the same player as Aaron Jones. So you don't have to worry about him stealing Aaron Jones's targets or carries or his role or his plays or his situations. So I really like Aaron Jones there. Ugh. Are you going to put Aaron Jones there?
Yeah.
You don't sound too comfortable.
Well, we're just getting weird now with some of the running backs, and they're not fun. So we're looking at what Judkins. We're looking at DeAndre Swift still is out there. Roshan Johnson, Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson.
I have Caleb Johnson ranked higher. I have Caleb Johnson
Judkins?
Ranked higher than Judkins. I do.
Okay, I would agree there. I do like Caleb Johnson more than I do like Judkins.
What I was doing was I was going into, because I know this argument comes up all the time, and I love Chris so much, but everyone always brings up Bijan Robinson's rookie season and how it was a quote unquote failure because of Arthur Smith. It was not a failure. It was actually really good. He had 58 catches, almost 1,000 rushing yards, almost 500 receiving yards, 8 total touchdowns. I mean, what else do you want from a rookie running back? I know last year was so much better. I get that. I really, really do. But the fact that you think that what he did in his rookie season wasn't spectacular or wasn't good, it was very good. I don't see anyone in Pittsburgh matching Bijan's skill set. I don't. So I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just get triggered every time I hear Bijan wasn't good his rookie season. I get freaking triggered. So I'm just going to move on. Why do you like Caleb Johnson?
I like Caleb Johnson, just the offense he came from. I mean, Iowa was literally a running school. Also, yeah, Bijan was RB9 his rookie season, so I guess that was a failure. But I like DeAndre Swift here before I like Caleb Johnson. I can't spell DeAndre. Oh,
you killed him last year. Just want to let everyone know that.
I did kill him last year because he was annoying me. But they didn't bring anybody in at all to compete with them, and they have a better offense. I mean, looking at like what Ben Johnson was able to do in Detroit with their running back situation, I think DeAndre Swift and potentially Roshan Johnson could have a similar type season. I don't think DeAndre Swift will have a Jahmyr Gibbs type season. I think we're looking at like the A team versus the B team. We're looking at JV, but I like DeAndre Swift here more than I like the rookies. Now this is where I get into like Caleb Johnson territory, Judkins territory.
So yeah, I'm definitely okay with putting Caleb Johnson than Judkins. But let me ask you, are you guys worried about the steadily decline of DeAndre Swift? I mean, he's almost 27 years old. He's going to be 27 this year. He's first time in his career ever. He averaged lower than 4.0 yards per carry. He was not career low rushing yards because he did get a lot of he had a career high attempts. So they used him a ton. Are you just worried that
yards still 6 touchdowns? I mean,
yeah, but like if Najee Harris gets 300 attempts and gets 1,000 yards and his yards per carry is 3.2, is that great? Don't check my math, guys. I didn't know if that checked out. But you know what I mean? Like if you get a ton of carries, eventually you're going to get 1,000 yards. That's my concern is he really going to get
I'm not necessarily really worried about DeAndre Swift at the moment. Just he's been a very consistent RB2, like a low RB2. He's never been an RB1. He's never been an RB3. He's right there between 15 and 21 in his career. Playing on, I mean, three different teams now. I still like him.
I like that. You're not good enough to be a 1. You're not bad enough to be a 3. You're right in the middle. It's like kind of like when you're like in your 30, 35, 40-year-old stage and you're still single and you see the girl that you liked in high school and she's like, she did all of her things. She's kind of like Jenny, right? Forrest Gump. You're the safe spot now. You're not like the top pick. You're not like horrible, but now you're just safe. I guess that's Swift, huh? He's just a safe spot. He's Forrest Gump to Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here I will put. Well, no, we talked about Caleb Williams, right? Or not Caleb? God, Caleb Johnson, right? Right here.
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, I like him.
Sean Judkins. We got to start flying. We're spending way too much time on garbage running backs. 10.
Roshan? 10?
Roshan?
10? Jalen Warren?
Jalen Warren?
Roshan? Put anyone you want because I'm not drafting either of them.
Warren, sure. Wide receivers.
Oh, easy.
We're gonna fight. Very good division here.
We're not gonna fight. We're not gonna fight because you know where I stand, and we're running out of time. But I'm just gonna put it out here. Justin Jefferson. I don't care what Chase did last year, because guess what? The year before that, CD did it. But guess who remains the constant at the top, the number 1 wide receiver in the world? Justin Jefferson. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to talk to you about it. I don't want to hear anyone tell me anything different. I have the stats to back it up. I have the facts. I have everything. And I've said it on this show 10,000 times. Just because of what happened last year doesn't erase every bad game Chase has ever had or all of his yo-yo games or his single-digit games. We talked about it. There was one year where Chase had more single-digit games in a season than Justin Jefferson had his entire career. Justin Jefferson does not bust. Justin Jefferson is the guy. Number 1. You could put Chase there all you want. It's fake. It's fake news, false news. JJ1.
Okay.
That's it. Chase can be 2. It's cool. Did you put? I have your
Vikings have a defense. The Bengals don't. So,
yeah. Well, Justin Jefferson can produce with
I will tell you,
with me being quarterback. And when the backup, remember the backup quarterback with Joe Burrow who had the super hot girlfriend that one time? Chase freaking disappeared. Poof. You know who doesn't disappear ever?
In 5 of the 10 draft boards that I looked at, Jamar Chase was taken 101 in Scott Fishbowl this weekend.
Guess what? In a lot of startups last year, CD was taken wide receiver 1 last year. Where is he now? People live off of what happened. I agree.
I don't think Jamar Chase will be the wide receiver 1 this year, but I also don't think the wide receiver 1 is in this division. Well, actually, no. It
is in this division.
It is in this division. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh.
I did for it. I said it was either going to be Amon-Ra or Malik Neighbors this year.
You're going Sun God, huh? I don't mind that. I'm just concerned about his, I guess you would say, bigger play potential. As in, is he going to have these 40, 50-point games like JJ and Chase do? Like, I'm sure I'm about to look it up real quick and go, oh, wow, he did this in week 4 or week 5. Yeah, week 11, he had 38 yards or 38 points. Week 15, he had 37.3. Like, he can do it. It's just he's more known for his 18 targets, his 12 targets, and, just getting 88 yards and maybe a touchdown. I love Amon-Ra. You're not going to hear me talk bad about Amon-Ra at all.
I don't want to be controversial here, but I'm putting Chase as 3 here. I
don't agree with that, by the way.
But
I'll deal with it.
You got Justin Jefferson. I'm taking Amon-Ra at 2.
I said I don't agree with it, but I'll deal with it. That's what I said.
I don't agree with Justin Jefferson at 1, so we'll be fine. Okay, so after this,
after this,
DK
oh no,
DJ Moore.
No. To me, it's clear. It's not a drop off. I mean, it's a drop off, but it's the drop off. Like, this person's in his own tier. I think T Higgins belongs here. I think T Higgins belongs in his own tier right here, because if Chase goes down, I think T Higgins can step up and be that one, and still produce big time numbers. I like DK Metcalf, but not for fantasy. I like DJ Moore. I really do like DJ Moore. I don't know where to put him though. I just don't know. He's one of those players who's destroyed my fantasy teams throughout his career. I roster him when he's bad, and I don't roster him when he's good. I can't figure this guy out. So I'm just not going to roster him anymore, and hopefully he's good. So I could put DJ Moore right below T Higgins.
I think we're looking at DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, and Zay Flowers.
You say it was fair? So in my personal
rankings, Zay Flowers / Jaden Reed.
In my personal rankings, I have Higgins 4, DJ Moore 5, DK Metcalf 6, and Zay Flowers 7.
See,
it's because Zay Flowers is one of these guys who, if he was not in no disrespect to Lamar, if he was not in Baltimore, Zay Flowers, we'd be talking about him.
Yeah.
With Drake London, we'd be talking about him with Garrett Wilson. I think we would be talking about him with these top echelon guys who demand a lot of targets. And then I have O'Dunes at 8. I really think that he's going to break out this year. The JSN effect. I've been saying it since last year. JSN has that year where he was the third guy playing behind Lockett and DK. And then last year he came to his own. I said the same thing. When O'Dunes was being drafted last year in redrafts, I said, don't do it. Because he's playing behind Keenan Allen. He's playing behind DJ Moore.
Gotta wait a year.
Do it. And this is the year. We're finally going to have it happen. So I'm excited for it.
We got a JSN build up, glow up right here coming. Outside of this, we're looking at guys like Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison, the Matthew Golden, Jamison Williams, Jerry Jeudy.
Pretty much guys I don't want. So if I had to rank those, unfortunately, I have Addison. I have Addison below O'Dunes, just because.
Addison, and then what? Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed is a
Packers wide receiver. Insert Packers.
I have Jameson Williams, but I'm totally fine with Jaden Reed there. He is, if they find him a role and they stick with it, it's kind of like Chris Godwin. If they find what he's good at best, or whatever he's good at, whatever he's the best at, put him there instead of going, oh, we're going to put him out wide. Oh, no, we'll try the slot. Oh, we'll do an in around. Find what he's good at. And I don't think the Packers have done that yet. They have drafted every single slot receiver they possibly could. And they're just like, all right, we'll figure it out. They haven't figured it out yet, especially with Jaden Reed. He's a special talent, and I think they're underusing him big time.
So tight ends, we have 3 tight ends that could be considered elite. Yeah, Mark Andrews still alive. Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson. Then I think there's a little bit of a gap. Not by much, but there's a little bit. I don't think it's huge.
I think Njoku should be up in this 4th.
I think Njoku is 4.
I think Njoku's 4 too. He is the beginning of the
next tier.
Okay, the next tier. But for me personally, I have TJ Hawkinson as my number 1.
Yeah.
Strictly for the target share is going to be a lot more. Target, like he's going to have more slot snaps. I think he's going to have more overall just involved in the offense, where Sam Laporta, we saw last year, he got lost in the shuffle. Sam Laporta is an extremely great talent, but he needs the volume to compete. And I think TJ Hawkinson's going to get that, especially with JJ McCarthy, whereas Jared Goff, we saw him really focus on everybody else but Sam Laporta last year.
Right.
It was really frustrating.
Yeah. And if he's not getting touchdowns, he's not getting points. I have Mark Andrews at 1 or over Sam Laporta, under TJ Hawkinson, because he is the target. Like, he is the target in Baltimore still. And that's why Zay Flowers is so low, because Lamar Jackson trusts Mark Andrews more than he trusts anybody on that field. So until somebody dethrones him as the target, and we can all say, yeah, for 3 weeks last year, he was bad. But then after week 3, he became tight end, 2, tight end, like, for the rest of the season. So he had a killer year after we buried him last year. So.
After week 4.
Yeah.
After week 4, we had 2 0-point games in a row.
Yeah.
And then I straight up cut this guy. And then he went off on a tear. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? That's what happens when you drop such an elite talent. So I'm okay with putting Andrews 2 in Laporta, then Njoku. And then we have a situation where, these guys stink. I'm going Tucker Kraft, though. Kraft to me does not. Kraft is your guy. I feel more comfortable drafting Kraft than any receiver over there in Green Bay.
That's fair. I agree there. So after Tucker Kraft, we're looking at Colston Loveland / Cole Kmet, Mike Gesicki, and Pat Freiermuth.
I'm going to get hate because of someone asked me, and he might be listening to this. How do you think it's an advantage to play in dynasty leagues year round for redraft players? Do you think playing in dynasty leagues is an advantage for redraft? And I said, no, I think it's a disadvantage. And he's like, why? I said, because people are going to overdraft this Bears rookie tight end, and he's not going to do anything. And Cole Kmet's going to be still the number 1 guy there. But people in the dynasty mindsets think, oh, he's young. Oh, he's new. Oh, he's fun. Oh, he's a new face. Oh, he's going to be better. That's not always the case, people. There's no indication that Cole Kmet's going to take a step back and take the number 2 role in the spot right now. Look at Isaiah Likely. Had a killer week 1 last year. That was it. That was it. That was it. I'm not saying that this is the same situation at all, because it's not. But I cannot see a situation where Cole Kmet's like, yeah, I'm good. But you know what? Y'all drafted this guy, and he's better. So see ya. I'm going back to nothing. I'm going to hang out with tight end 3 guy on our roster. No, it ain't happening. He's still going to be a player in this team. And tight ends take a long time to
actually become a player. Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, Sam Laporta,
Brock Bowers.
And these other Brock Bowers just took off. So it's a copycat league. Oh, this player must be awesome now because all these other guys know. But you're not looking at the other tight ends. Dalton Kincaid, who has extremely struggled, which just went super cheap in our auction league, by the way. And I'm pissed about it because if I had more money, I would have not let him go for that cheap, by the way. Whoever won him, you're welcome. It's all because this guy, Justin. By the way, what a freaking dirtbag. This guy is single-handedly bid up my last like 4 players in a row, knowing that I wanted those players. And I'm so mad about it. You cost me at least like $20.
Listen, I wanted Garrett Wilson. I bid as much as I could on him, and
No, you didn't.
it wasn't
No, you didn't.
enough.
You just knew.
It wasn't
You just
enough.
knew I had my proxy at like the maximum I possibly could, which I did. I can't believe you guys let me get him under $30. I had it set way higher than that.
I tried to get him. I could only go to 25.
You just knew that I had him super high. It's fine. It's fine. You know your league. Know the players that players want, right? You knew I wanted Garrett Wilson. I set the proxy super high. It's fine. It is what it is.
So I got Tucker Kraft, Cole Kmet, Mike Gesicki, Pat Frymuth, Colston Loveland to round out the tight end position. I can't think of a 10th tight end to put in here. Isaiah Likely?
Sure. Yeah, he was good one week. Week 1, I moved him really good. I moved him for, I think in Dynasty for Khalil Shakir and like another player right after week 1. And I was pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that move. You're in that league, by the way. But that's going to do it for the show. Yeah, it was we got through all 40 players. We didn't go in depth in
38.
the majority of them, which we want to. Next week we got 38. So we'll be better next week. We'll be doing the South.
North.
Are we doing the dirty
South?
The dirty South. So we'll be talking Baker Mayfield. We'll be talking
all the
Anthony Richardson,
Daniel Jones.
We'll be talking
Trevor
Jonathan
Lawrence.
Taylor. I can't wait to get into the South next week. It's going to be a fun show. If you want to get our rankings down, because our rankings are up, we go by our rankings. Right. FantasyNowPlus.com. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are growing stronger than ever. I think we're over 600 subs for sure. I think 607. We want to hit 1,000 before the year. We still have a couple 70 days to do that. So our goal is 1,000. And again, I will shave my head and donate it to charity if that happens. Yeah. You guys put it on Blue Sky, not me. So if we do get 1,000, I will be shaving my head and donating it to a local charity in the Tampa Bay area. So go ahead and subscribe and make me bald. Make me look like an idiot. So but I already do. So you can't do that, guys. I already do that myself. So until next week, this is Josh signing off for Justin. Peace out. Be good. Love you.
See you.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.